Business notifications getting out of hand? Buried under an avalanche of customer emails, texts, and social media messages? Keep your edge with Thrive Small Business Software and never miss a message again. Thrive offers one solution to communicate, market, and run your business. Put simply, small businesses run better on Thrive. Get Command Center for free today at thrive.ca. That's THRYV.ca. Terms and conditions apply. Free plans have limited functionality.
O ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, just let your presence fill this place. O ancestors who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world may not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors who gave God consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us. And we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. And we will not betray you. Ashe.
Beat divine in the light leaf, bending on the tight beat, stream in the silence. Defend me in and through the dicey, it's me, I gather nightly, seeking your guidance. I kiss my fingers lightly, dancing on they psyche. Olorune, você you got me? Or sun stacking nicely, or sure see at my sight, seeing moan through the flighty, build my citadel. Gripping, limping at the crest with my youth parallel. With resolve and sweat through the conflicts, battle scars, we rattle out the bars. Block crooked daggers coming out the dark. From the apex, trekking headed to the next. Call a pattern when I peep, hold the head of self-defeat. Olorune, você you got me? O sonho eu adoro, Deus é adoro, não há maior amor.
Mental Salvation Radio, Enoch 7 Prophet, and this is Season 5, Episode 42. And today's date is Saturday, the 29th, 12:04 p.m., which is 2/9 is the 11, and this is the parallel. This is the opening. This is where you should be at this moment in time. So, thank you once again for tuning in to another installment of Mental Salvation Radio. Thank you for those who have been downloading, uploading, sharing, reposting, commenting on the shows and what the content I've been bringing. You can always find Mental Salvation Radio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer. For those who are using Deezer, bless your heart, as my grandma would say. Bless your heart, because I don't even use that particular app. So thank you. And also, you can always find Mental Salvation Radio on www.wowtheradio.net/M as in Mary, S as in Sam, R as in righteous. All right. Yeah, so thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to jump into this show. We're going to play some dope music today. If you are listening live, thank you so much, because I've been gone for a minute, and then I've been just dropping episodes here and there. So big up to everybody who has commented on the Men Don't Like Flowers podcast or show. So thank you, I appreciate it. We'll be right back. Mental Salvation Radio. Mental Salvation Radio, Season 5, Episode 42. Today's date is Saturday the 29th, 2022. Once again, thank you for downloading, thank you for uploading and sharing. And let's get into today's strand. So I always talk about today's strand and the benefits it can bring. Also, I'm going to tie along with today's strain with a particular seed, a particular health aging beneficial seed, and that's going to be papaya seed. So we're going to give you the strain of the day, and the strain of the day is Lemon Cherry Gelato. Now, the word even gelato would tell your ass that this is going to put you down for the count. So if you have like straight gelato, you about to go night-night. If you have something else mixed with gelato, it's going to be a long night, early morning type. You still high, right? So, and we'll tell you why that is the case with Lemon Cherry Gelato. All right. So, I always go to Leafy. That's where you can find kind of all your information of what you need. But Leafy is not going to give you everything. That's leafy.com. They're not going to give you everything, so you have to do your research. You have to taste test. You have to see what it does for you. Because each particular strain works differently for different people. All right. Now, the gelato strain is what they say to be called a hybrid marijuana strain. We're still learning about the flavors and effects of lemon cherry gelato. You know, if you smoked the strain before, tell us about it by leaving a comment or a review. Now, you can leave a comment and a review. So my review is this. That joint is crazy. It's, especially if you've been eating like cookies that already been baked in weed, you about to just be like, I don't want no more, or whatever this shit is, I don't want no more of it, because that's what the lemon gelato would do. Especially if you are eating medicinal, or you're eating the THC within food, you're going to continue to eat because you're chasing that high, and or the cookies or whatever it is dope. Also, big up to Cook with Cannabis, because I really love that show, because it's actually showing the world that marijuana and the chemicals and the CBD and the THC all work together for the good, right? And also Khalees is the co-host of it. Khalees is a co-host of the shit. It's not just her, it's another guy who sometimes talks a little funny. But anyway, check it out. It is definitely on Netflix. All right, so back to the strain of the day. It's the lemon cherry gelato. Now, in that lemon cherry gelato, it's something called limonene. And limonene is a relaxed body high. It gives you that body high, relaxed feel that you want to go to sleep. It's euphoric, it's happy. It is euphoric, happy, and it makes you lazy. It makes you want to go to sleep. All right. Also, limonene is in fruits, which is oranges, limes. Those are the terpenes. That's a terpene. Limonene is a terpene. All right. So in that terpene, you can find limonene in your favorite foods almost. Like I said, oranges, lemons, limes, things of that nature. What are the health benefits that's linked to limonene? Limonene has been studied for its potential inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer, and heart disease fighting properties. So that is one health thing that limonene is good for. We'll be right back. Mental Salvation Mental Salvation Radio. Mental Salvation Radio. At the top of the hour, you have heard Myrrh. And that is by the Midnight Hour. Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Adrian Young, and I believe that was Ladybug from Diggable Planets. Followed by Leapfrog, Hiatus Coyote. And you had just heard Jill Scott, I Am Not Afraid, here on Mental Salvation Radio. Season 5, episode 42. Now, on the strength of talking about cook with cannabis, it was an episode I saw last night, which is it was good. It was very funny, I would say. And it was one guy on there, his food just did not look edible. That shit just, first of all, he was from jail. And there ain't nothing wrong with coming out of jail, learning skills and trades in jail. But he came out as, now he's a chef. So his interview was basically, the tricks and trade that I've learned in jail of how to make, let's just say, nachos out of ramen noodles and bananas, right? Just say that, for example. He's like, I'm not going to use none of those tricks of the trade that I got from prison into this competition. Now, this competition, you're going to win 10 G's. I thought it was 10 million. I was bugging last night. It was 10 G's. You're going to win 10 G's, right? Within that 10 G's, you could do whatever. But it is three chefs, different countries, different things. So this guy is from the prison. He got locked up over some marijuana back in the day. He just got locked up, got some trouble. So his food did not look edible. All that shit looked dry. The presentation was dope. Like, wherever the camera angles they shot and the color tones, and his presentation was great, but his motherfucking food looked horrible. And each time he talked about his food, they said it tastes horrible. Each time he talked about how he preparing his food, he'll bring up like jail all the time. Like, damn. I was laughing like shit. That's the only, like, I can't connect to that. Like, if I never got locked up before, I can't connect like you making grilled cheese with an iron. Like, you got 2 pieces of bread. You don't have no oven, no stove, no microwave oven, no damn air fryer. You ain't got none of that shit. Only thing you have is an ironing board and an iron. And 2 pieces of bread and some cheese. I can't imagine me making a grilled cheese like that. I can't relate to it because I've never been to jail, right? Or making some other things, some concoctions and shit like that. But, he had macaroni and cheese. You can't really fuck up macaroni and cheese. Excuse my language. You really cannot mess up mac and cheese. If you do, you need to stop cooking. We'll be right back. Mental Salvation Radio. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the seed, papaya seeds. Now, it is said that you should eat or chew about 8 to 10 dried papaya seeds, or crush them in your favorite smoothie or whatever you choose, your shake or whatever. Another way to have papayas seeds is to grind them and prepare them as a paste. You can add honey or anything to the paste. Now, the benefits of papaya seeds: it helps fight cancer, controls blood sugar levels, boosts immune systems, reduces inflammation, and also it's helpful for malaria, they say. The all other benefits are anti-aging. I guess we all black folk eating papaya seeds when we don't even be eating papaya seeds. I know people who've been smoking dope all their life and they look like they're 25 and they really 82. All right. Controlling acne. Papaya seeds. Treats pigmentations because it's rich in vitamins and fatty acids. It benefits your liver. It's papaya seeds for weight loss. Wow. Hair growth papaya seeds. Hey guys, it also helps you to continue on the mission of being a guy. You feel me? It's like that nature pill. Yeah, Mental Salvation Radio, Season 5, Episode 42. We'll be right back. Sons of Salvation Radio, www.wildletteradio.net/M as in Mary, S as in Sam, R as in righteous. Once again, at the top of the hour, you've heard Myrrh from the Midnight Hour, Holly Shaheed Muhammad, Adrian Young, and Ladybug. Leapfrog, Hiatus Coyote. Watch Out. Instrumental you just heard was from De La Soul. And before that, you heard I'm Not Afraid by Jilly from Philly. Today's talk is life lessons. What life lessons have you learned in your life? For those who are 25 to 95, what life lessons have you learned early in your life that you keep to this day? Maybe the friends that you have chosen, or the friends that want to choose you, to your relationships, to your friendships, to your situationships. What have you learned and take from those things? If you had children early, what are the things you took from that? Not to have no more kids, or telling somebody else don't have kids early. Like, what are the life lessons? Have they been good? Have they been bad? I have a lot of life lessons that I continue to learn daily because it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Your lessons always continue on in different forms. The older you get, it's the same lesson, but just maybe a different face. And how do you navigate through that particular lesson that you've learned before? I think my lesson that I've learned is that you have to know who your friends are and or who your support system is and what they look like.
How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.
You probably know the feeling. Sweaty, fast breathing, quick heart rate. That's a cortisol spike. It feels awful, and its imbalance is the cause of your anxiety. Rebalance Health's 3-part anxiety system helps address it at the root. Rebalance Health lozenges are natural and designed for optimal absorption, providing 24-hour relief. Live life fully without feeling like you're fighting for it. Get 50% off your first month with code CALM23 at rebalancehealth.com.
Our families, when it comes to us pursuing our dream or our idea or our thoughts, don't really support us in that concept. They think, oh, you doing that little rapping thing, or you doing that little music thing. Anytime they put "lil" in front of it, it's gonna be a diss. Don't think it's not a diss because they say "lil." But sometimes if you're playing with your friends or having joke time with your friends, you may say, you might say, let me see my little thing over there, hand me my little, but it's not any diss. But if someone says, what's up with your little business or your little job, or how's your little friend doing? There's always a sneak diss in there somewhere, right? And what life lessons have you learned from that? The same friends that you had in elementary school, do you still have those same friends now in your adult life? Probably not. They probably have died. They probably have moved on in their own different way. Or y'all probably just fell apart and y'all like, we outgrown our friendship. How many friends have you basically grown with, like in and out of friendship, but y'all still are friends? I have a friend, we don't talk, me and him don't talk all the time. I can text him today and he won't text me back till a month later. What we doing, G? What we doing? That's all I gotta say. But it's no, I understand he got a life, I got a life. If you are dealing with someone who has a life, like they got children, they got jobs, they got careers, they got concepts and creative ideas that they're working on, any and everything that's a busy life, you know, and you text them and they take 2 weeks or 3 weeks to text you back, they got a life too. So I think as friends, we have to have boundaries. You know our boundaries as friends. You know, understand each other's temperament, what they like, what they don't like. You can't change nobody. You have to actually change around them, and they got to change around you. No one is out here saying, "Hey," no one is out here basically, but not me personally. And sometimes I may have been like that trying to change that person to be like I want them to be. When that person is who that person is, they're not going to change for you. You have to adjust to them changing with you. So vice versa, y'all have to adjust with each other as friends. Because the older we get, the more things we see, as they say, you know, you talk about the levels of life. So when everyone's going through their levels of life, you have to adjust to that person. They have to adjust to you. And sometimes y'all don't want to compromise mentally or spiritually or not even physically, but mentally and spiritually. Y'all don't want to compromise. Your egos don't want to compromise with each other. So y'all fall apart. Y'all not friends no more because y'all egos don't want to compromise. So if you've been in a friendship for over 30 years with somebody and y'all been knowing each other since the sandbox, y'all don't have a ego friendship. Y'all have you going through your thing, I'm going through my thing. We going in and out of friendship. But y'all still growing. Y'all not falling apart. So understand that sometimes when you fall apart from a person who was once a friend, it's just that your egos would not compromise. Same thing with like relationships. Relationships, egos don't compromise. Like, okay, you know, this is what you do, this is what I do. Okay, let's compromise somewhere. Sometimes the bigger ego will destroy a relationship. I mean, we understand that we have exes. Some of us are friends with our exes. I'm friends with a few of my exes, but we didn't fall off on like really dumbass terms, but we remain to be friends. So sometimes when you fall off with an ex and you don't want to fuck with him or her no more, somebody's ego was like, I'm not compromising with your shit. Yeah, go ahead and do that little thing you've been doing, and I'm going to go over here and do my thing. They're not going to say my little thing. They're going to say, go ahead and do what you want to do with your little thing. So their ego does not want to compromise with your ego. So that's why y'all fall apart. Mental Salvation Radio will be right back. Slam.
The spice in our life. Oh, your love's like fire and ice. That's why we ought to think twice, baby. No need to sacrifice the spice in our life. Oh. I really love
You are listening to Miss Erykah Badu, Think Twice. Mental Salvation Radio, Season 5, Episode 42. Today is Saturday, 29th. 2 plus 9 equal 11. Where you at? Where you been? What you been doing? How you been vibing out? Today's time is 12:33 p.m. here in Washington, D.C. area. So the Washingtonian area, try not to use the DMV because you can't live in 3 places at one time. You live in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia. So I say the Washingtonian, or I say the metropolitan area. That's old school, metropolitan area. Then these Bammers come along, DMV. No, it's metropolitan area. Let's keep it DC. How long can we hold on to DC and make it ours? Keep it ours. We just finished listening to, like I said, Think Twice by Erykah Badu. Now, friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Before we go any further, let's be friends. Words are used every day. Most of the time we use them in the wrong way. Now you can look the word up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends. So Webster himself, the white man who made the dictionary, say dictionary. We can break all that down, but not right now. This is not the podcast. This is life lessons. What I've learned, life lessons, is to break down certain words because they hold certain meanings. It's a double meaning to a word. Like deer, D-E-A-R, D-E-E-R, deer. Dear, like, dear ladies and gentlemen, you're being commandeering. A deer, you know what I mean, that's sometimes meat for folks. That's food for people. And sometimes that'd be that deer caught in the headlights and get hit by the truck. And it's over with. So there are words that, like a morning. I try not to say good morning because how is it good to mourn? Doesn't make any sense. But it's spelled differently, M-O-R-I-N-G, when the sunrise, morning. Then you have M-O-U-R-N-I-G, morning. Is when you are sunset, is when you're putting someone to rest. It's never good to mourn, so I don't say good morning. I say greetings or good AM or whatever have you. I don't say hello, even though that's the universal language, because now hell is low. Where are we at when we think? So these are life lessons that I've learned along the way, and then start to dial in of what the words mean. Pick up, thanks to my ancestor, my grandmother, who always kept me in the dictionary. Like, read from A to Z. Learn a new word every day. I think I got up to like T or something like that, and I was like, this is too much for me. This is Malcolm X's. And I didn't even know at that time who Malcolm X was, because they didn't teach that in school. Life lessons. So you go outside of school to get a life lesson. Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, when people, they say he got a big head, so Martin Luther King got a big head, you got a Martin Luther King head. But at any rate, Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, Louis Farrakhan, the list goes on. And then you would trace back when they talk about Africa, you go outside of that. It's like, okay, before we were slaves, what would we read then? I have a book called From Niggas to Gods, Volume 1 and 2. It takes you from the nigga mind state to the God state. It's called From Niggas to Gods. So lessons I've learned along the way. I'm 48.
You probably know the feeling. Sweaty, fast breathing, quick heart rate. That's a cortisol spike. It feels awful, and its imbalance is the cause of your anxiety. Rebalance Health's 3-part anxiety system helps address it at the root. Rebalance Health lozenges are natural and designed for optimal absorption, providing 24-hour relief. Live life fully without feeling like you're fighting for it. Get 50% off your first month with code CALM23 at rebalancehealth.com.
So there's lessons I learned along the way that kind of preserve who I am and what I've done and pass that lesson on to someone else. It's all about the return investment in life. Whoever has poured into you, you pour into someone else. Because when you physically transition, you can't take that information with you. In their next lifetime, you're going to come back with another mission. And you have to download and upload new information. So if you believe in transformation, if you believe in, if you know this transformation and you know you will come back in another life, the information you have in this life, you won't have the same damn information in your next life. So you have to learn other lessons again. So whoever came back as a butterfly, guess what? They had to learn to be a caterpillar. They got to learn to climb up where they need to go to hang and go into cocoon and come out as a butterfly. Now where is this butterfly going to go? So if you came back as a spirit of Marcus Garvey, if you came back as Marcus Garvey, you're not going to hang the same mentality that you did back then. You have to upload and download new information. If you come back as a fox, or if you come back as a damn elephant, or if you come back as your mother or your father, you have to learn new life lessons. So that's another topic in another book, and I just went left with that. Mental Salvation Radio, we'll be right back, and we're going to close this show out. All right? How y'all doing? Y'all okay?
As luck would have it, one of America's two most powerful villains of the next decade
is turned loose to strike terror into the hearts of men. To shock women into uncontrolled hysteria.
Don't touch that! The villains themselves were ultimately responsible for much of the popularity. Audiences love to hate. The importance of the villain was not overlooked. Of course, one of the worst of all was the mad villain. They had no code of ethics.
What's the matter? I was only trying to...
Get to work on these boys. Anybody bring a gun for me?
Yeah, here's one.
It's not one, but two.
Typical villain releases included...
I know they're going to kiss me, but don't let anyone see me like that. Please, Doctor, help me!
And a sequel.
Master of all.
Both the villains were to meet in...
Your mother was the lightning.
Two historical figures...
Mental Salvation Radio, that was The Illest Villains by Mad Villain. The Illest Villains by Mad Villain. Yeah, you see how I put that? The Illest Villains. For Mad Villains developing. So yeah, that was The Illest Villains. The Illest Villains by Mad Villain. All right. Thank y'all once again for tuning in to another installment of Mental Salvation Radio. I'm Enoch 7 Prophet. And this is season 5, episode 42. Right? Before I go, I wanted to update on the Men Don't Like Flowers episode, right? Life lessons. Again, we're going to tie this all around. We're just going to tie this up in a pretty bow and get about your eardrum until next time, right? So, life lessons is that I never received any flowers in my life, right? That's what I said on the podcast. That was episode 40, right? Never received flowers a day in my life. And I thought about it, and I posted it on Facebook. I got a lot of critiques, and people curating. I was curating the conversation, number one. All right. Number two, with me curating the conversation, everyone was chiming in, which was dope. A lot of women were chiming in. Guys was being more aggressive about it. I'd rather get some head than have flowers. I'd rather you buy me a beer. Or I'd rather don't buy me no flowers because they're going to die anyway. Well, so are you. And people still going to blame flowers. Why not get them now, right? So the Society of American Florists said that 60% of men would not get, 60% of men like flowers, but likely won't get them. And if they do, they only get them once or twice in their life. That puts them in the 40%, right? It's once and twice in their life. I bet. Then it said, some men will never get flowers. The first batch of flowers they'll get is at their funeral. I said, wow, shit. So I started, just go back and listen to that podcast 40. I'm not going to dive into that. So I said that, thought about it, and someone gave me a flower. I mean, not a flower, a plant. You know, talking to a homie, she was like, we was talking, having conversations. And she was like, well, the plant is in the floral, the plant is in the floral family. So I received a plant, right? Once. Boom. So we're going to put that in the florist department because I did get that. And that plant would die and come back to life again. It was like die, come back, die, and it just came back stronger. Boom. Recently, I got more flowers. So that's twice in my life that I received flowers, right? Which was great. I didn't even know how to take it when I received flowers. I didn't understand. My mind was just be masculine about it. I don't want no motherfucking flowers, but that's what you asked. You know, that's what you was talking about. Or, you want to go in the feminine realm and cry and be emotional. So I was in both my mental and I was both in my masculine and feminine energy at the same time, which was intellectually a beautiful experience, right? I posted the flowers on Mental Salvation Radio IG, and I gave my commentary and my thoughts and views on the flowers. I still have the flowers, so I thought that was a beautiful gesture. I thought it was dope because they said men don't like flowers. Okay, well, shit, I like flowers. Well, I like a plant. Well, Bama is still in the same floral department. So if a woman gives you a plant, she's still giving you a flower. Idiot, man. Y'all bunch of idiots. Yeah? But at any rate, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another show of Mental Salvation Radio, Enoch 7 Prophet, Season 5, Episode 42. Before I go to IG, follow Mental Salvation Radio on IG. Also, we're going to gear up for February for Salvation Sundays. And I think we on podcast show number 37, I think. So big up to all the black women who have been a part of that platform. Thank y'all so much. So go, if you are an entrepreneur, a healer, a spiritualist, a photographer, a videographer, a journalist, an actress, an author, and you're a black woman, come to Mental Salvation Radio. That's my Suge Knight joint. And you're a black woman, come to Mental Salvation Radio. And you getting tired of being jerked all the time, and you getting tired of being on these podcasts that won't give you a shine, a moment of truth, that they won't even, like, the host is boring, and you gotta take over the show and shit. You ain't gotta do all that. Come over to Mental Salvation Radio, and we'll treat you good. But yeah, that's my spiel, Slam. That's my Suge Knight. Also, big up to Eleanor. Me and Eleanor have a podcast coming out. It's called The Elephant Mentality. And we're going to be coming out with that after retro. So if you're part of this Mercury retro and you know that this affects your life, yeah, we're not doing anything after this Bama has gone away. Because this Bama's getting on my damn nerve. All the way around. All the way around. Let's go. Get up out of here, young. And also, once again, as we always say, the sun will always still shines, no matter how cloudy it gets, no matter how stormy it appears, no matter how snowy it is, the sun will always still shine, no matter how cloudy it gets. Mental Salvation Radio, check y'all out next time. We're going to go out with a style. You know what I mean? We're going to go back to Jamaica and we're going to play you some Poor Man. See if you'll recognize this tune, see?
My mama eat it out due to the sufferation. I've got to make life some other way. My granny is crying, my brother is crying. That's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's life. That's the poor man's style. Poor man's style. Hear me, brother, sit down in my home. I roast the breadfruit. I hear the news flash, say them kill to you. That's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's style. Couldn't get no sugar, but Jaja give me power. That's the poor man's style. Couldn't get no flour, but Jaja give me power. But the poor man's style.
Also, www.wowtheletteradio.net/shows. M as in Mary, S as in Saint, R as in Righteous, where you can find a lot of dope ass shows on there. All right, go check it out. Go check it out. Big up to everyone who's doing their podcast thing across the board. Big up to Panoia Star Seed Podcast. She has different times that she's going to jump on Facebook, so you just got to go. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Black Women Connected Communities as well for holding us down. We really appreciate it. Big up to Lonnie Boheim, who just dropped the project on the 22nd. I should know these things because she's part of Chakra Music, right? But I'm a poor man style. I'm out. Peace.
Sit down in my home, me a roast a breadfruit. I hear the news flat, say them kill us, say them kill us.
Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, an infant formula company on a mission to get a lot closer to the most superfood on the planet, breast milk. Our patented protein blend has more of the important and most abundant proteins actually found in breast milk. We're the first and only U.S.-made formula to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, not skim. We even conducted the largest clinical trial by a new infant formula company in a quarter century, with clinically proven benefits like easier digestion, less spit up, and softer poops versus a leading infant formula. And we make our own formula in the USA and our very own factories in Iowa, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.